Today, let's delve into a topic that touches the essence of relationships and self-worth. Respect is the cornerstone of any meaningful connection. When it's absent, relationships crumble and self-esteem suffers. But here's the truth: the way others treat you often reflects the energy you project into the world. If you feel disrespected, it's time to look inward. Are there habits or behaviors you've unconsciously embraced that invite this treatment? Let's uncover those habits and empower you to shift your mindset and actions. When you consistently put others first and neglect your own needs, you unintentionally send a message to the world that your well-being isn't a priority. Over time, this habit can erode your self-esteem, leaving you feeling unfulfilled and disconnected from your true self. While it's noble to care for others and support their needs, doing so at the expense of your own health, happiness, and boundaries creates an imbalance that can lead to frustration and resentment. At the heart of this behavior is often a deep desire to be liked, accepted, or even loved. You may believe that if you sacrifice enough for others, they will appreciate your efforts and reciprocate the care you've given. However, relationships built on self-neglect are often one-sided, as they teach others that you are willing to compromise your needs to accommodate theirs. Over time, this dynamic can lead to a lack of respect, as people may begin to take your generosity for granted, failing to see your inherent value. Neglecting your needs can manifest in many ways, from saying yes to every request, even when you're overwhelmed, to staying silent when your boundaries are crossed. You may suppress your emotions to avoid conflict or prioritize someone else's comfort over your own. While these actions might seem like acts of kindness in the moment, they create a pattern where your well-being takes a back seat, leaving you drained and unappreciated. Self-neglect doesn't only impact your relationships with others, it also affects your relationship with yourself. When you ignore your needs, you send a subtle message to your subconscious mind that your feelings, desires, and aspirations are unimportant. Over time, this can lead to feelings of worthlessness, anxiety, and even depression. You may find yourself wondering why you feel so unfulfilled, even when you're doing all the right things to support those around you. The truth is, no amount of external validation can fill the void created by neglecting your own inner needs. Respect begins with self-care. This isn't about selfishness or turning your back on others. It's about recognizing that you are just as deserving of love, attention, and care as anyone else. Taking care of yourself allows you to show up more fully for the people you care about. It's like the analogy of the oxygen mask on an airplane. You must secure your own mask before helping others. When you prioritize your needs, you recharge your energy, allowing you to give from a place of abundance rather than depletion. Learning to prioritize your needs requires a shift in mindset and behavior. It starts with self-awareness, recognizing when you're overextending yourself or saying yes out of guilt or obligation. Pay attention to how you feel in these moments. Do you feel resentful, exhausted, or undervalued? These emotions are clues that you've been neglecting your needs and that it's time to realign your priorities. Setting boundaries is a powerful act of self-respect. It's not about building walls, but creating clear guidelines about what is acceptable in your life. When you say no to things that drain your energy or compromise your well-being, you're saying yes to yourself. Boundaries allow you to protect your time, energy, and emotional health, ensuring that you have the resources to thrive. Practicing self-care is another essential step. This can be as simple as carving out time each day to do something that brings you joy or helps you relax, whether it's reading a book, going for a walk, meditating, or spending time with loved ones. Self-care also involves addressing your physical, emotional, and mental health needs. This might mean seeking professional support, eating nourishing foods, getting enough sleep, or setting aside time for hobbies that light you up. Affirmations can be a helpful tool in reinforcing your commitment to self-care and self-respect. Start by telling yourself, I am worthy of care and attention, or it's safe for me to prioritize my needs. Over time, these positive statements can help rewire your beliefs, making it easier to embrace habits that honor your well-being. As you begin to prioritize yourself, you'll notice shifts in your relationships. People who truly care for you will respect your boundaries and appreciate the authentic, energized version of you that emerges when you're no longer operating from a place of self-neglect. Others may resist or question the changes at first, but remember, their reactions are not a reflection of your worth. They are simply adjusting to the new standard you've set for how you deserve to be treated. Respect is a two-way street, but it starts with you. When you treat yourself with kindness, care, and respect, you set the tone for how others will treat you. Neglecting your needs might feel like an act of selflessness, but in reality, it's a disservice to both yourself and those around you. By prioritizing your well-being, you model healthy behavior, inspiring others to do the same. You also create the foundation for more balanced, respectful relationships where everyone's needs are valued. Embrace the idea that taking care of yourself isn't just a necessity, it's a gift. It's a way of honoring the incredible person you are and the life you're here to live. When you prioritize your needs, you step into your power, radiating the confidence and self-respect that command the respect of others. Seeking validation from others can feel like a natural response to our desire to connect and feel appreciated, but when it becomes a habit, it can lead to a life that's unbalanced and emotionally draining. While it's healthy to enjoy recognition and approval from time to time, basing your self-worth on external validation creates a fragile foundation that often leaves you feeling insecure and unfulfilled. The deeper issue is not about wanting approval, but about depending on it to feel valued and worthy. When you seek validation at any cost, you unknowingly hand over your power to others. You allow their opinions, judgments, or approval to determine your mood, actions, and even your identity. This dependency can make you overly accommodating, agreeing with things you don't truly believe in, or suppressing your authentic self to fit into someone else's expectations. Over time, this compromises your integrity as you lose touch with who you are and what truly matters to you. This habit often stems from a deep-rooted fear of rejection or not being enough. You might feel that if you can just gain someone's approval, you'll finally be worthy of love, respect, or success. However, the reality is that external validation is fleeting. People's opinions can change, and what satisfies them today might not satisfy them tomorrow. If you rely on others to define your worth, you'll constantly be chasing something that's out of your control. This chase can manifest in various ways: overworking yourself to prove your competence, constantly seeking reassurance in relationships, or altering your personality to fit in with different groups. While these behaviors might temporarily win you approval, they often lead to exhaustion, self-doubt, and a sense of emptiness. You may find yourself questioning, why am I doing so much yet feeling so unfulfilled? The answer lies in the fact that true fulfillment doesn't come from external sources, it comes from within. The key to breaking free from this cycle is recognizing that your worth is not dependent on anyone else's opinion. You are inherently valuable simply because you exist. Your talents, personality, and unique perspective are gifts that no one else can replicate. When you understand and embrace this truth, you no longer feel the need to seek constant validation from others. This shift begins with self-awareness. Notice when you're acting in ways that are meant to win approval, rather than staying true to yourself. Ask yourself, am I doing this because it aligns with my values and desires, or because I want someone to like me? Being honest with yourself is the first step toward reclaiming your power and choosing actions that reflect your authentic self. Another important step is practicing self-affirmation. Instead of waiting for others to validate you, learn to validate yourself. Celebrate your achievements, no matter how small. Remind yourself of your strengths and the qualities that make you unique. By regularly affirming your worth, you create an inner sense of confidence that doesn't rely on external validation. Setting boundaries is also crucial. When you're constantly seeking approval, it's easy to overcommit or say yes to things that don't serve you. Learn to say no when necessary, and trust that you don't need to please everyone to be valued. People who truly respect and care for you will appreciate your honesty and boundaries, even if it's uncomfortable at first. Cultivating self-trust is another powerful way to overcome the need for external validation. When you trust yourself, your decisions, instincts, and abilities, you become less dependent on what others think. You know that even if someone disapproves or disagrees, you can handle it. Self-trust grows through practice, so start small by making decisions independently and standing by them. It's also important to surround yourself with people who uplift and support you. While breaking free from validation seeking is an internal process, having a positive environment can make it easier. Spend time with people who appreciate you for who you are, not for what you do for them. Their encouragement can remind you that you're already enough. Lastly, remember that perfection is not the goal. Seeking validation often comes from a fear of making mistakes or being less than perfect. Embrace your humanity and the fact that everyone has flaws. Growth comes from accepting and learning from your imperfections, not hiding them. When you stop seeking validation at any cost, you open yourself up to a life of greater freedom and authenticity. You become more aligned with your values and true desires, which naturally attracts people who appreciate you for who you are. Instead of chasing approval, you radiate confidence and self-respect, creating deeper and more meaningful connections. Your worth is not something you need to prove, it's something you already possess. Trust in it, own it, and let it guide you. The more you honor your own value, the less you'll feel the need to seek it from others. In this shift, you'll find a sense of peace and fulfillment that no amount of external validation could ever provide. Avoiding honest communication may seem like a way to preserve peace or protect yourself, but in reality, it creates a barrier between you and the meaningful connections you desire. Honesty is the foundation of trust, respect, and understanding, and when it is avoided, relationships become strained and unbalanced. Whether it's in personal relationships, friendships, or professional settings, withholding the truth, suppressing your feelings, or avoiding difficult conversations can lead to a cycle of miscommunication, frustration, and disconnection. Many people avoid honest communication because they fear the consequences. Perhaps they are worried about hurting someone's feelings, triggering conflict, or facing rejection. This fear often stems from a desire to be liked or accepted, a belief that confrontation is inherently negative, or a lack of confidence in their ability to express themselves effectively. While these feelings are valid, avoiding honest communication often causes more harm in the long run than the temporary discomfort of speaking openly. When you suppress your true thoughts and feelings, you deny others the opportunity to understand you fully. Over time, this creates a gap between your internal reality and the external image you present. This gap can lead to feelings of isolation and dissatisfaction, as you're not being true to yourself or allowing others to connect with you authentically. Additionally, the unspoken emotions or unresolved issues can build up, manifesting as resentment, stress, or even physical health issues. On the other side, those around you may sense that something is off. Even if you don't say it out loud, your body language, tone, and actions can convey your unease. This can lead to misunderstandings, as others may interpret your behavior in ways that don't align with your true feelings. For example, avoiding an honest conversation about a concern in a relationship might lead your partner to assume you don't care, when in reality you're simply afraid of confrontation. Honest communication isn't just about sharing your feelings, it's also about being clear and transparent in your intentions, expectations, and boundaries. When you fail to articulate these aspects, others are left to guess what you need or want, which often leads to misalignment and disappointment. For example, in a professional setting, avoiding a conversation about unrealistic workloads may result in ongoing stress and burnout. Without addressing the issue, your needs remain unmet, and the problem persists. Learning to embrace honest communication requires courage and vulnerability. It begins with acknowledging your fears and understanding that discomfort is a natural part of growth. Being honest doesn't mean being harsh or insensitive, it's about expressing your truth with kindness and respect. The goal is not to create conflict, but to foster clarity, connection, and mutual understanding. One way to start practicing honest communication is by reflecting on your intentions. Ask yourself why you're avoiding the conversation. Are you afraid of rejection? Do you feel unequipped to handle the other person's reaction? Understanding your motivations can help you address the root cause of your reluctance. Next, consider the benefits of being honest. While the conversation may be uncomfortable in the moment, it has the potential to strengthen your relationships, build trust, and resolve lingering issues. By focusing on the positive outcomes, you can reframe the situation as an opportunity for growth rather than a threat. Preparation can also make honest communication feel more manageable. Take time to clarify your thoughts and emotions before initiating the conversation. Write down what you want to say and practice delivering it in a calm and respectful manner. This can help you feel more confident and ensure that your message is clear. Active listening is another critical component of honest communication. Being open and transparent also means being willing to hear the other person's perspective. Create a safe space for dialogue by showing empathy, asking clarifying questions, and avoiding defensiveness. Remember, honest communication is a two-way street that requires mutual respect and understanding. It's important to recognize that not every conversation will go perfectly. There may be moments of tension, misinterpretation, or heightened emotions. However, these challenges are part of the process and can lead to deeper connection and resolution when handled with care. Instead of striving for perfection, aim for authenticity and growth. Over time, embracing honest communication will transform your relationships. You'll find that speaking your truth attracts people who value and respect you for who you are. It also empowers others to be honest with you, creating a cycle of trust and transparency. While some relationships may change or even end as a result of your honesty, this is often a reflection of misalignment rather than a failure. Honesty clears the path for relationships that are healthy, supportive, and fulfilling. Being honest with others also strengthens your relationship with yourself. It allows you to honor your feelings, stand up for your needs, and live in alignment with your values. This authenticity fosters a sense of inner peace and confidence that no amount of external validation can replace. Ultimately, avoiding honest communication may feel easier in the short term, but it limits your potential for meaningful connections and personal growth. When you choose honesty, you step into your power, showing the world and yourself that you value integrity, clarity, and authenticity. In this space of openness, you create the foundation for a life rich with understanding, respect, and genuine connection. Allowing repeated disrespect in any aspect of your life can quietly erode your sense of self-worth and diminish the quality of your relationships. Whether it occurs in a personal, professional, or social context, tolerating disrespect sends a message to others and to yourself that your boundaries, needs, and feelings are not important. Over time, this can have profound effects on your emotional well-being, your confidence, and the way you view yourself and others. At its core, disrespect often manifests in subtle ways before becoming more blatant. It might start with a dismissive comment, a sarcastic tone, or an overlooked request. These small acts may seem insignificant in the moment, but when they go unaddressed, they create an environment where the other person feels entitled to continue disregarding your feelings. Each instance that passes without a response reinforces the behavior, making it increasingly difficult to confront or change over time. Many people allow disrespect to persist because they fear the consequences of addressing it. They may worry about appearing confrontational, losing a relationship, or creating tension in the workplace. This fear is often rooted in a desire to keep the peace or avoid conflict. While this response might feel like the safer choice in the short term, it ultimately comes at a cost. Suppressing your discomfort and tolerating poor treatment chips away at your sense of self-respect. It also creates a power dynamic where the other person feels they can act without accountability. Repeated disrespect can have a significant impact on your mental and emotional health. It fosters feelings of frustration, resentment, and helplessness, which can eventually lead to anxiety or depression. You may begin to doubt your worth, questioning whether you deserve to be treated with kindness and dignity. This self-doubt can spill over into other areas of your life, affecting your confidence, decision-making, and relationships with others. The cycle of disrespect often perpetuates itself because it is tied to unspoken boundaries. Boundaries are essential for maintaining healthy relationships as they clearly communicate what is acceptable and what is not. When boundaries are unclear or non-existent, others are more likely to overstep them. In contrast, setting and enforcing boundaries creates a framework for mutual respect and understanding. It empowers you to stand up for yourself while also teaching others how to treat you. Addressing disrespect begins with self-awareness. It's important to recognize the signs and acknowledge how the behavior makes you feel. Suppressing or dismissing your feelings only allows the cycle to continue. Pay attention to situations where you feel undervalued, ignored, or belittled. These are key indicators that your boundaries are being violated. Once you've identified the patterns, you can begin to take steps to change them. One of the most effective ways to confront repeated disrespect is through direct communication. This doesn't mean reacting impulsively or angrily. Instead, approach the situation calmly and assertively. Use I statements to express how the behavior affects you, such as, "I feel disrespected when my opinions are dismissed," or "I need to be spoken to with kindness and understanding." Framing your concerns in this way minimizes defensiveness and shifts the focus to how the behavior impacts you. It's equally important to remain consistent in enforcing your boundaries. If you communicate your limits but fail to uphold them, the disrespect is likely to continue. For instance, if you've asked someone not to interrupt you during conversations but allowed them to do so without addressing it, they will assume it's acceptable. Consistency reinforces the message that you value yourself and expect to be treated accordingly. Another key aspect of addressing repeated disrespect is understanding that not all relationships can or should be salvaged. While some people may respond positively to your boundaries and work to improve their behavior, others may resist change or dismiss your concerns. In such cases, it's essential to prioritize your well-being over the fear of losing the relationship. Letting go of toxic connections creates space for healthier, more supportive ones to enter your life. Practicing self-respect is a vital part of breaking the cycle of disrespect. This involves acknowledging your worth and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. Surround yourself with people who uplift and appreciate you, and remember that your value is not determined by how others treat you. Self-respect also means being kind to yourself, celebrating your strengths, forgiving your mistakes, and nurturing your emotional and physical well-being. It's important to recognize that addressing repeated disrespect is not about controlling others' behavior, but about taking responsibility for your own. You cannot force someone to treat you with respect, but you can control how you respond and the standards you set for your life. By prioritizing your needs and enforcing boundaries, you reclaim your power and create an environment where respect is the norm, not the exception. Ultimately, allowing repeated disrespect is a choice, often an unconscious one, that can be changed with awareness and action. By valuing yourself and standing firm in your boundaries, you not only protect your own well-being, but also inspire others to do the same. Respect is a two-way street, and when you demand it for yourself, you pave the way for deeper, more meaningful connections built on mutual understanding and care. Hiding your authentic self is one of the most subtle yet profoundly damaging behaviors a person can engage in. It often begins as a defense mechanism, a way to fit in, avoid rejection, or maintain harmony. Over time, however, the habit of concealing who you truly are can leave you feeling disconnected from yourself and others. It creates a life where you are constantly adapting to what you think others expect, rather than embracing your own uniqueness and allowing it to shine. This not only diminishes your personal happiness, but also erodes your self-esteem and sense of purpose. When you hide your authentic self, you deny the world the opportunity to know the real you. Perhaps you suppress your opinions, avoid expressing your emotions, or downplay your achievements. Maybe you alter your behavior to match the expectations of your family, friends, or colleagues. These adjustments might seem minor or even harmless at first, but over time they accumulate, creating a version of yourself that feels distant from who you really are. This disconnect leads to a sense of emptiness and frustration, as though you are living a life that doesn't truly belong to you. One of the main reasons people hide their authentic selves is fear of judgment, rejection, or not being enough. Society often promotes an image of perfection, pressuring individuals to conform to certain standards of beauty, success, or behavior. This external pressure can make it difficult to trust that your authentic self is worthy of love and acceptance. Instead, you may feel compelled to mold yourself into someone who fits a particular narrative, believing that this will earn you approval or validation. Ironically, hiding your authentic self rarely achieves the desired result. While you might avoid conflict or gain temporary acceptance, the relationships and opportunities you attract in this state are built on a false foundation. People are drawn to the persona you project, not the person you truly are. This makes it difficult to form genuine connections, as you're constantly acting rather than being. Over time, this can lead to feelings of isolation, as even in the company of others, you may feel unseen and misunderstood. Furthermore, suppressing your true self comes at a significant emotional cost. It requires constant vigilance to monitor how you act, speak, and present yourself. This mental strain can lead to stress, anxiety, and even depression as you suppress your desires and emotions to maintain a facade. It also stifles your creativity and personal growth as you avoid exploring your passions, taking risks, or embracing opportunities that align with your authentic nature. Embracing your authentic self requires courage, but it is one of the most liberating and empowering choices you can make. It begins with self-awareness, taking the time to understand who you truly are, what you value, and what brings you joy. This process involves reflecting on the aspects of your life where you feel most fulfilled and those where you feel constrained or inauthentic. Pay attention to moments when you feel the need to hide or alter yourself and consider why you feel that way. Once you've identified these patterns, the next step is to challenge the fears and beliefs that keep you hiding. Remind yourself that authenticity is not about being perfect or pleasing everyone. It's about being honest and true to yourself. Accept that not everyone will understand or appreciate your authentic self, and that's okay. The people who truly matter will value you for who you are, not for who you pretend to be. Practicing authenticity also involves taking small, deliberate steps to reveal more of your true self in your daily life. This might mean expressing your opinions more openly, sharing your feelings with trusted friends, or pursuing hobbies and interests that reflect your passions. Each act of authenticity reinforces your confidence and helps you build a life that aligns with your values and aspirations. It's important to surround yourself with people who support and encourage your authenticity. Seek out relationships that are built on trust, respect, and mutual understanding. These connections provide a safe space for you to be yourself without fear of judgment. At the same time, be mindful of toxic relationships that pressure you to conform or make you feel inadequate. Letting go of these connections creates room for healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Embracing your authentic self also means letting go of the need for external validation. Instead of seeking approval from others, focus on building a strong relationship with yourself. Practice self-compassion. Celebrate your strengths and acknowledge your growth. Recognize that your worth is not determined by how others perceive you, but by your own sense of integrity and self-respect. Ultimately, hiding your authentic self is a form of self-betrayal. It deprives you of the opportunity to live a life that is rich, meaningful, and aligned with your true essence. By choosing authenticity, you not only honor your own worth, but also inspire others to do the same. The world doesn't need more people conforming to societal expectations. It needs more people who are unapologetically themselves, sharing their unique gifts and perspectives. When you stop hiding and start embracing your authentic self, you unlock a sense of freedom and fulfillment that no external achievement or approval can provide. You begin to attract relationships, opportunities, and experiences that resonate with your true nature, creating a life that feels deeply satisfying and purposeful. Above all, you discover that being yourself is not only enough, it's everything. Ignoring personal growth is a silent thief that robs you of your potential happiness and the opportunity to live a fulfilling life. While life may feel comfortable or routine without actively pursuing growth, this stagnation can lead to dissatisfaction, frustration, and a sense of being stuck. Personal growth is not just a luxury, it is a necessity for anyone seeking to thrive, adapt, and make the most of their time and talents. When you ignore this essential part of life, you risk becoming disconnected from your true self and from the possibilities that could enrich your journey. Growth begins with self-awareness, the ability to reflect on who you are, what you want, and how you can evolve. Yet many people avoid this process because it can be uncomfortable or challenging. Facing your fears, weaknesses, and limiting beliefs requires courage. It's easier to stay within the confines of familiarity, even if those confines feel unfulfilling. The avoidance of personal growth often stems from a fear of failure or rejection, or from the misconception that self-improvement is too time-consuming or overwhelming. When personal growth is neglected, life can begin to feel monotonous and uninspiring. Days blend into one another, and you may find yourself going through the motions without a sense of direction or purpose. Over time, this lack of progress can lead to a feeling of being stuck, as though life is happening to you rather than being shaped by you. This stagnant state can breed dissatisfaction, erode your confidence, and leave you questioning your worth. Ignoring personal growth also limits your ability to adapt to life's inevitable changes. Challenges, setbacks, and unexpected events are part of every journey, and without the tools to navigate them, they can feel overwhelming. Growth equips you with resilience, problem-solving skills, and the ability to see opportunities within obstacles. Without it, even small difficulties can seem insurmountable, leaving you feeling powerless and defeated. Another consequence of neglecting personal growth is the impact it has on your relationships. Growth fosters empathy, communication, and understanding, all of which are essential for building meaningful connections. When you stagnate, your relationships may suffer as you become less open, adaptable, or attuned to the needs of others. This can create distance, misunderstandings, and even conflict, further isolating you from the support and connection that are vital to a fulfilling life. The workplace is another arena where ignoring growth can have significant repercussions. In a world that is constantly evolving, staying stagnant can make you feel obsolete or unprepared for new challenges. Whether it's learning new skills, adapting to technological advancements, or developing leadership qualities, personal growth ensures you remain relevant and capable. Without it, you may find yourself stuck in unfulfilling roles, missing out on opportunities for advancement and satisfaction. The good news is that personal growth is always within reach, no matter your starting point. It begins with a decision to invest in yourself, to see your life as a continuous journey of learning and evolving. Small, consistent steps can lead to profound changes over time. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. Growth is about progress, not perfection. One way to prioritize growth is by setting clear, achievable goals. These goals act as a roadmap, giving you direction and a sense of purpose. They can be as simple as reading a book on a topic that interests you, taking up a new hobby, or practicing a skill you've always wanted to learn. As you achieve these goals, you build momentum and confidence, making it easier to tackle larger challenges. Another key to fostering growth is embracing discomfort. Growth often requires stepping outside of your comfort zone, trying new things, and taking risks. While this can be intimidating, it's also where the most meaningful progress occurs. Each time you face a fear or overcome a challenge, you expand your sense of what's possible and strengthen your resilience. Self-reflection is an essential component of personal growth. Taking time to evaluate your actions, thoughts, and beliefs allows you to identify areas for improvement and celebrate your progress. Journaling, meditation, or simply spending quiet moments in contemplation can help you gain clarity and deepen your understanding of yourself. Personal growth also thrives in environments that encourage learning and positivity. Surround yourself with people who inspire and challenge you, who support your aspirations and believe in your potential. Seek out mentors, join groups, or participate in activities that align with your goals. These connections not only provide motivation, but also expose you to new ideas and perspectives that can enrich your growth journey. Importantly, growth is not just about achieving external success, but also about cultivating inner peace and fulfillment. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, not to prove anything to others, but to live authentically and in alignment with your values. Growth involves letting go of what no longer serves you, whether it's toxic relationships, limiting beliefs, or unproductive habits. It's about creating space for what brings you joy, purpose, and connection. Ultimately, ignoring personal growth is a disservice to yourself and the life you have been given. Growth is not about changing who you are, it's about becoming more of who you truly are. It's about embracing your potential, celebrating your journey, and continuously striving to create a life that reflects your unique essence and aspirations. By committing to growth, you open the door to a life filled with meaning, resilience, and endless possibilities.